Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Dr. Arif Pyarali. I am a keynote speaker and OD consultant and director training solutions at Learning Minds. And today we are talking about excellent leader. Why this Excel model and why now? It's really important to understand. First of all, people who are joining in, I welcome you all, and I hope so. We have this chat bar and this questions bar, which you please throw questions at us so we can answer, or I'll try to answer all of them, in fact, and understand what are your challenge areas where you really want to understand about the excellent leader part. Okay, so now once we are talking about excellent leader, it's really important to understand one thing, that why leader. So in the past, it has been a very clear option of making everyone a leader, and that's not the right case to do so. So the difference between a leader and a manager, there is none. Anyone can be a leader. So think right now, people are joining in as well. Think, एक लीडर जो आप कहते हैं कि यार इससे मैं बड़ा इंस्पायर्ड, ठीक है, so I'll give you 5 seconds to think on that. One leader, one person, it's your ideal, you think that that person is inspiration to you, or you think that person is a leader. Yeah, and now I'll give a 5-second more opportunity to you, and you need to decide that what are those two major characteristics of that particular person who you presume to be a leader, or you think that's an inspirational personality. Yeah, cool. So now once we talk about so I'm sure there will be a lot of things in your mind. That person is inspirational, that person can communicate very well, that person is someone you look up to, creates positivity, and so there are a lot of stuff going around. What I am trying to do today is concise that concept of a leader. So it's not a thing, it's some skills which makes you the leader people look up to, right? So it can be your parents, it can be your elder sister, elder brother, younger brother, it can be anyone from your organization to your bosses to your colleagues, or outside organization, people you meet every day, it can be anyone, right? So that's the Excel model for leadership. And what's that? The A of the Excel model belongs to accountability. And without accountability, and everyone, I'm sure people who are in a leadership role or a managerial role, or in a role where you are trying to take care of your family or people around you, the first thing is accountability, because without accountability there's nothing, isn't it? कैसे आप किसी को कुछ बोल सकते हैं और आप वो खुद नहीं कर रहे हो, ठीक है? कैसे पॉसिबल है that आप, so they don't follow you because what do you say, they follow you because what do you do, and your actions speak louder than words, and then the actions has consequences, isn't it? So the accountability part comes in कि आपने जो किया वो आप उस पे, you are there to say that, listen, this is me, this is who I did, this is who I am, and this is what I did. It can be right, it can be wrong. Well, it goes both the ways. Yeah, so it can be right, it can be wrong, but the point is, are you accountable of your actions? Whether I meet a lot of people along the way, and the common rant I heard, that is, जनाब देखिए बात क्या है, बात ये है कि मैं जो हूँ वो लीडर तो हूँ, ठीक है ना, उसमें कोई मसला नहीं है मुझे, लेकिन ये है कि मेरे लोग काम नहीं करते, ठीक है, और मेरे लोग काम नहीं करते, मेरे लोग ऐसे हैं, एंड ऑल स्टफ ऑल अराउंड. नाउ द पॉइंट इज, मेरे लोग काम नहीं करते, मेरे लोग ऐसे हैं, लिसन, you are accountable for that, right? It's very easy to play blame game, it's very easy to do backbiting, or it's very easy to say, listen, I work, they don't, so it's their responsibility. No, it's yours. Accountability is the first thing. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility, and it's really important to understand that you need to work on that. the first thing a leader should do is to be responsible and accountable for his actions, his teams, his decisions. And then there's one more thing. Accountability के अंदर एक सबसे बड़ा मसला ये आता है कि people tend to not make decisions. They refrain from that. So they look for easy escapes where they are not able to, like, people, लोग उनको ना बुलाएं, ठीक है ना, वो कह रहे हैं यार आप आपसे मैं आप खेल लो, आप क्या सजेस्ट करते हो, something on those lines. And it's really sad. It's really sad because listen, there is every time there is extra data in future to make sure that your decision in the present was right or wrong, isn't it? Now think again. हमेशा मेरे पास आज प्रेजेंट में इतना डेटा होगा मेरे पास्ट के डिसीजन को गलत या सही साबित करने के लिए, लेकिन मेरे प्रेजेंट में इतना डेटा नहीं है कि मैं आगे के डिसीजंस को सही या गलत समझ के आगे बढ़ सकूं. सो आई हैव टू मेक अ डिसीजन. नाउ वंस आई हैव टू मेक अ डिसीजन, it's a possibility कि वो गलत भी हो सकता है या सही भी हो सकता है. It can go either way. Now when it can go either way, you need to own that decision. You need to be accountable for that decision. लेकिन हमारे यहाँ एक so we have a different mindset altogether. We stop making decisions altogether, right? It's not from me, it's from someone else. So accountability, Excel model, the first thing is accountability. A leader needs to be accountable for his and his team's action, results, and productivity. There's no other way out, right? You need to take charge of your life as a leader. That's must. The Excel model, the C, comes from collaboration. The second part is collaboration, and collaboration is really important in the sense that it's really important in the sense that collaboration is a very difficult bird. Yeah, you heard that correctly. It's a very difficult bird to get a hold of, to understand what is the concept of collaboration. So I give you an example. हम सब बचपन से स्कूल के अंदर compete करते हुए आए, right? कंपटीशन रही है आपके अपने लोगों के साथ, अपने बहन भाइयों के साथ, अपने जो स्कूल के अंदर जो फर्स्ट आता था, अगर आप फर्स्ट आते थे सो मुबारक, लेकिन जो फर्स्ट आता था उसके साथ कंपेयर हुए हैं. सो वी हैव बीन कंपीटिंग आवर एंटायर लाइफ, टेक्निकली आवर एंटायर लाइफ, फॉर वन थिंग और अनदर, राइट? और ये अब थोड़ी बहुत फितरत का भी पार्ट बन गया है. सो यू हैव अ कार, यू नीड अ बेटर कार, योर नेबर हैज गॉट अ गुड furniture, you need a good furniture, something on those lines. Now you come into a company or you attend my seminar, or people, there are a lot of people around the globe, you attend their seminar and they say collaboration. And now this is a new word, this is a complicated word to comprehend because हमने पूरी जिंदगी collaboration तो सीखा ही नहीं, हमने तो competition सीखा, तो collaboration कैसे सीखे? How is it possible that I work with someone and I have to collaborate, and at the end of the day I know that only one person can be promoted out of the entire team? That's an issue, right? So we have all the bell curves to show up, we have all the materials to come along, but the point is how we can collaborate. I give you an example, right? The basic concept of collaboration comes from trust, bharosa. If you trust the people around you, if you trust the team around you, as a leader, it's your responsibility, accountability, to create trust in people. Because once you do that, once you create trust in your teams and your families, on everyone around the way. So the point is, once you do that, the collaboration element, the collaboration word starts to get a grip. You start to get a grip on that. You need to understand that. Trust is basic. It's a Ken Blanchard model of ability, believability, credibility, and dependability, right? So ये चार areas को जब आप एक mix में लाते हैं और लोगों के साथ रख, so teams के अंदर अगर मुझे पता है कि अगर मैं उसकी help करता हूँ या वो मेरी help करता है, so it's us who would get appreciated, or it's us who would get reprimanded, right? So it goes two ways, right? लेकिन अगर मुझे पता है कि यार मैं मेरी भले जितनी भी लोग हेल्प कर लें, either way around, but my leader is not collaborative, it's competitive, now we have an issue. And I really believe that this is a world of collaborative corporate environment. It's not cutthroat competition. It never is, right? It's a different concept altogether, but it never is. Until and unless, so there are a lot of speakers who are talking about collaboration in different ways. So we have Patrick Linkeny, we have Simon Sinek, we have Anthony Robbins, we have Tom Peters, we have Peter Tuckers of the world. So we have a lot of speakers talking about collaboration. But the basic part of collaboration is on the very fabric of collaboration. The Excel, the second part, the C, is, am I trusting my team? क्या मुझे भरोसा है कि मैं जो काम कर रहा हूं और मैं काम करने के बाद जब आगे ले जाऊंगा तो उसके क्रेडिट कोई और नहीं ले जाएगा, वो मुझे ही मिलेगा? क्या मेरा लीडर ने इतना ट्रस्ट डेवलप किया है हमारे लोगों के बीच में दैट आई एम परफेक्टली मूविंग फॉरवर्ड? एंड दैट कैन बी अ यस और अ नो. सो यू थिंक फॉर 5 seconds and then we move forward on the third part of the Excel. Okay, now on the third part of Excel, the third C of Excel is communicate. और ये वो ऐसी चीज है हम बचपन से सुनते हुए आ रहे हैं, ठीक है ना? वी हैव अटेंडेड कोर्सेज ऑन इट एंड लेक्चर्स एंड सेमिनार्स, और हमारे शायद ट्रेनिंग और लर्निंग एंड डेवलपमेंट का द फंडामेंटल स्टेप इज कम्युनिकेट. But still, I see a lot of places, people from basic employment to higher up in the hierarchy, even CEOs and owners, they can't communicate. There's an issue. I don't know. You help me out. You ask me questions around that. Okay, I would really like if you ask me questions. There are a few already with me, but I would be really happy if you ask me questions around that. People can't communicate. This is a very simple thing. Once we talk about communicate, so we can have an entire week of sessions on communication, but I give you simple 3 areas of how we can better communicate. The first one is the visual, right? Your expressions, your body language, how you move around stuff, how you talk to people. It's really basic. People know that. आप में से कुछ लोग बैठ के भी ये भी कह रहे होंगे, हाँ जी पता तो था, आपके इस्तेमाल करते हैं ये एक अलग चीज है. So for example, if someone comes to me, I'm a leader, supposedly, and people start talking to me and I'm like, ठीक हूँ, आप सुनाएं कैसे हैं, how are you? Yeah, see, listen, I'm really busy right now, I'll catch you later. So I wasn't abusive, I wasn't harsh, but I wasn't there. Was I? Yeah, I wasn't there. People understand from your body language, your expressions, that listen, okay, so people listen, people see your expressions. And so there's this question, are we talking about communication and interpersonal skills, and what matters the most and stuff on that? Listen, आप लफाजियत में हम लोग खेल सकते हैं, ठीक है? But the point is, once we are communicating, communication is in 3 areas, and then interpersonal skills is a relationship building that comes within, like blended. It's a blended approach. It's not separate. Interpersonal skills, communication, it's a blended approach, right? So इसके अंदर ये भी आएगा. Thank you, Hanan Iftikhar, for asking that. Now, so the first is visual. Once we talk about visual, so the first way is visual. We talk about the body language, how we communicate. People don't do that. I have seen a lot of people talking a good post, and it doesn't mean you need a post to be a leader. Please, let's cut this clear out. आपने कोई कुर्सी या आपको कोई हायरार्की में पोजीशन प्रमोशन नहीं चाहिए अपने आप को लीडर कहलाने के लिए. Just by the way, ठीक है, that's your designation. Leadership is a set of skills. The first one was accountability, the second one was collaboration, and the third one is communication. Okay, so in the communication part, the second V is vocal. How you speak. Are you varying your pitch, your tone? Yeah, we have all heard that again and again and again and again. मैं भी शायद ये 1000वें बार बोल रहा हूँ कि communicate करने के लिए आपको अपने pitch and tone और ये सारी चीजें vary करने की जरूरत है. The point is, are we doing that? And the answer is most of the time, no, we don't. We are not consciously thinking. So these are four steps, four stages, unconsciously competent, consciously competent, something on those lines, unconsciously competent. The point is, are we unconsciously competent to understand why and when and where and why are we varying our tone and pitch? And are we doing that? And most of the time, you ask yourself, most of the time the answer is no. आप में से अगर कोई if someone of you are married, you talk to your kid, बेटा टाइम नहीं है यार अभी, बहुत बड़े हो गए हम, right? So बेटा टाइम नहीं है अभी. So this is the first be the visual, and then the vocal is pretty harsh. But I'm sure you mean well to your family, and I'm sure you have work to do. I'm not saying you don't, but think again. Are we communicating in a way that makes us a leader? And the third V is the verbal part. आप बोलते क्या है? How you inspire. So this is a very big jargon. Used, I think so. It's abused and overused, if I may say. Inspiration. You bring in while speaking, while doing your actions. The verbal part comes in. आपने सामने वाले को किस तरह से बात करके, किस तरह से कोच किया, किस तरह से फीडबैक दिया, किस तरह से फीड फॉरवर्ड दिया, किस तरह से आपने उसे मेंटोर किया. These are all elements of your verbal part. Once you mix the three V's, you have these three V's combined together. This is where you create magic. And these are very basic steps, but the point is I'm still doing this webinar to teach people, listen, you need to do this. I have met leaders who have done wonders for their teams. I have a leader who has done wonder for the teams. And I'm sure you have met people as well. ठीक है, आपको दो किस्म के लोग तो I'm sure कहीं ना कहीं मिले होंगे. एक वहां पे जहां पे आपने उनको देख के बोला कि यार इसे लीडर बना दिया है, मतलब इसे. और आई एम श्योर आपको ऐसे भी लोग मिले होंगे जहां पर आपने कहा यार he or she is the person, amazing, I'm impressed, or I'm inspired, or I want to follow that person, or something on those lines. But the point is, we, the people who have, this is I got from Sohail Zandani. So we are our community or a nation who don't follow people who we get inspired from, but we follow people who really we don't like, but we need to follow, something on those lines. Asan Zaban mein, if your inspiration is Qaid Azam or Allama Iqbal, how many things you're doing what they used to do, or we are just talking about reading their books and seeing, wow, what amazing thinking mind or brain or author they were, or what amazing politician, or something on those lines. You need to understand that. It's very important. तो हम जिनको फॉलो कर रहे हैं वो हमें इंस्पिरेशन नहीं देते, और हमें जो इंस्पायर करते हैं उन्हें फॉलो नहीं कर पा रहे, उनकी टीचिंग्स को फॉलो नहीं कर पा रहे. लफाजियत तक ठीक है, टीचिंग्स को फॉलो नहीं करते. So that's an issue. So Excel model में the first one is accountability, the second one is communication, the third one is collaboration, the fourth one, and I perhaps, so this is an जैसे हनान ने पूछा था, this is an overlap of communication, collaboration. And that is the E part of the Excel model. The E part is the engagement. How engaged you are with the people you're working with. How engaged you are with your family, your friends. And when I say engage, I don't necessarily mean that giving them gifts and talking to them every day. It's just that, do you know what they're doing? Do you know what they are feeling today? आज आप अपने ऑफिस में बैठे हो, I'm sure most of you are coming from namaz break and it's a Friday, so जुम्मा मुबारक for that. आप में से बहुत सारे लोग अब ऑफिस में बैठे हो, you just think, you look around in your office and see आपने कितने लोगों से recently बात की थी, and you got to know that were they okay. If you are holding a post and you are watching this webinar, I request you to stand up after this webinar, obviously, and go up to them, to their desk, and ask them, how are you? Is everything okay with you? I thought of asking that if there's anything I can help you out, I'll be there. It's as basic as that. Engaging means how much you can facilitate your people. Irrelevant कि वो आपकी team का part है या नहीं, irrelevant वो आपकी organization का part है कि नहीं, the basic element of engagement is how you can facilitate people. So in the morning I had this session in IBA, it was Insights HR Club, and my talk was reimagining HR for millennials and Gen Z. And at that moment of time, I talked to them about, don't talk about human resources, talk about human potential. Because human resources makes you understand that they are a resource. But human potential tells you that they have a certain potential which you can explore, which you can take them to new heights. And I was talking to them on all those lines. I'll share a few of them with you as well. The engagement part. So I tell them, HR क्या कर सकता है? I'm sure I can see there are 5-6 people from the HR community. Let's see, HR क्या कर सकता है? क्या HR अपने complement, like जो compensation and benefits दे रहा है, ठीक है ना? उसका अगर आपका अलग department है, जबरदस्त, I'm talking to them. अगर आपका same department है, you are looking after the complement part. Either way, right? Show this to people. Now what happens is that HR क्या कर सकता है? Gamify कर सकता है अपने complement को, ठीक है ना? So for example, you have a health insurance for your employees, and then you have TND and all of that stuff, so the list goes on and on and on and on. But for the millennials and the Gen Z, how you can engage your people to see कि लोगों को लगे अच्छा ये तो हमारे लिए हो रहा है, ठीक है ना, या मैंने कस्टमाइज किया है. आप में से कितने लोग जो है अपने मोबाइल के ऊपर you load your mobile, you recharge your mobile on your mobile phone, like in the app part. Have you seen, for example, if you're Telenor or Mobilink or whatever it is, so Ufone or Zong, all of ours is our clients, मुझे सबके नाम लेने पड़ेंगे. What happens is कि आप अगर जब जाते हो, so you take a 30-day package, you obviously recharge and stuff. Then they give you a few options. 100 minutes, 200 minutes, 500 minutes, something on those lines, and then you select according to your needs, and then you go and you click and it goes. Yeah. So what you did, you think you customized a package for yourself, but in reality you had limited options, and the entire power was with the telecommunication company to make, so see, listen, you can't take 725 minutes of certain on minutes. It's 500 or 1,000, and that's pretty much it, right? I'm sure आप में से जिन्होंने mobile phone पे किया होगा उनको पता होगा. I told in today's session, in today's IBA conference, I told them, listen, can we do this for our employees? Can we create a set of 8, 9, I don't know, a pool of benefits and compensation, and tell them, listen, this is the pool, customize according to your needs, select any 3 or 4. Giving you an example, if someone is single and you are giving them health insurance of yourself, of that employee and the people, and hey, listen, I know there would be a lot of people saying, listen, there is a policy involved, and then there is this there are certain things which we need to look into. It's not that easy and all of that stuff. Okay, thank you so much. I know. Thank you for that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, can we gamify these complement areas? So for example, if I'm single, I don't have a family, and someone tells me, okay, health insurance, I have to do it for my wife and my child. I don't have a wife or child. So what should we do? What should I do? Should I get married or what? Can I get, not an health insurance, but can I get an international trip once a year? Like the trip is part of the complement, right? So you club 8 or 9 areas, you place 8 or 9 areas and ask them, listen, these are 9 compensation or benefits, something on those lines. You select any 3 according to your needs. So the ball is in your court as a company or as a leader, as an executive. But at the same time, the consumer or the employee who you are trying to get engaged into things that person has customized it according to his needs. What we have done is we have actually gamified the entire process right now. I know it's a far-flung concept. I know there are a lot of if and buts involved. I know there are a lot of approvals involved. But see, that's why this webinar has been held, right? What we are trying to do is we are trying to communicate the new best practices which is happening in the world. Now, any one of you can ask me, listen, Arif, oh, okay, ये सारी चीजें gamify कर दो, policies कर दो, ये सारी process कर दो, कहाँ हुआ? आप कहीं होने का wait कर रहे हैं? So for example, if I say कि जी जनाब ये Apple में हो गया, Google में हो गया, तो आप कल अपनी कंपनी में शुरू कर देंगे? आप हाँ बोल दें तो मुझे ढूंढना पड़ेगा फिर कि मैं ढूंढ लेता हूँ कि अगर कहीं हो रहा है. Why are we waiting on stuff which we think can work, and it's perfectly fine in terms of manipulating? Like manipulating is a very harsh word. If we can gamify stuff around and let our employee engage with ourselves, why we think कि ये नहीं हो सकता? Like you're waiting for Google and Apple to do that, और फिर आप सोचेंगे, approval लेंगे कि क्या हम ये gamify कर सकते हैं? ठीक है? Can we do that? Like, need to understand. Engagement का एक और level. Once we understand about engagement, we need to understand on what different levels we can engage on. And one of them, which will lead to the Excel model, the last part, that is the L part, and we'll talk about that as well. There are multiple areas of expression which is important, right? So one is gamifying stuff, engaging them into these areas. The second is coaching, and I would really like to talk about coaching as a leader. As a leader, it's really important for you to coach your people. Mentorship and coaching, these are two separate areas. We need to understand, we need to respect that. Mentor अगर आप किसी के बनते हैं, that is huge responsibility. लोगों को लगता है कि जी अल्फाज का ही तो खेल है, ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है ना? It's a huge responsibility, but if you're coaching someone, that is something easier on you as a human, as a professional, and you can do that very easily for them, right? Kaise? Just make to set them. There are a few conversations going on. First one is goal setting, right? हम ये बात कर क्यों रहे हैं? हम ये coach कर क्यों रहे हैं? And this is how you engage. Millennials, Gen Zs, Excel leaders, they need to understand that they need to find new avenues to engage people. They need to find that, right? If you cannot find new avenues to engage people, nothing new is coming in. If nothing new is coming in, turnover rate is going up because people are resigning. Once people are resigning, wherever you go, okay, let's take this. Irrelevant कि आपको कोई position मिली है या नहीं मिली है, irrelevant of that. You can be a college going student, you can be a university going student, you can be a professional on an entry level, you can be a middle manager, or you can be a top manager, top level C-suite management, right? Can be anywhere. Excel model code, just place it in your domain and see how effectively it works. Accountability, collaboration, communication, engagement, and the last part, the L part, is listening. कभी सुनना सीखा ही नहीं हमने. Do you know that हम 1 minute में we speak somewhere around 150 से 150 to 180 words, but we listen somewhere around 680 to 750 words. Now there's a massive gap, and that massive gap, I'm sure आप सबने communication channels and communication process पढ़ा होगा, I'm not going into that. But do you know that once this entire thing is happening, there is a lot of things we do not listen. There are 3 barriers I need to talk to you today while listening. That's the Excel model, that's the last part, that's the L part, that's listening. 3 barriers. The first barrier, और आपने इर्द गिर्द में लोगों को देखा होगा, लोगों को छोड़े, आपने और मैंने भी ये चीज हरकत की होगी. What is the first part? Once the person starts speaking, we do not listen to that person. हम आंसर ढूंढ रहे होते हैं. या तो हम आंसर ढूंढ रहे होते हैं, या तो हमें उसकी कन्वर्सेशन का आंसर पता होता है. क्योंकि हमें उसका आंसर पता होता है तो फिर हम उसे सुनते ही नहीं. And that's a flaw for a leader. If you are not listening to your people, if you're not listening with your people, because you presumably know the answer, there's an issue. It's not. So that's the first barrier. The second barrier is you treat discussions as competition. कितनी बार हुआ? Okay, सच बताना. आपके, I'm sure इर्द गिर्द में there would be multiple people in your area who would be talking about this. The time you say, listen, I am stuck in this issue, there would be someone in the room who will bring up a bigger issue. इतना हुआ था, बस मेरे साथ ये हुआ. Or if you give a good news, ठीक है, कि यार I bought a new car, let's say Picanto, and the person standing in front of you should have congratulated you, or you should have congratulated that person, but we say, oh, bas acha, oh, last year to maine city li thi. Why we do that? Why we take discussions as competition? Why we do that? और ये सिर्फ ये basic level तक नहीं है. This comes in the business as well. So I was doing this training with one of the insurance companies, and what happened was that they said कि यार मुझे इतनी गाड़ियाँ insure करवानी है. Can you do that? So for example, 50 cars insure करवानी है. Can you handle that amount of project as a person? पता है reply क्या आया? Reply आया, sir, don't worry, these are just 50 cars. Just 50 cars. Last week, I did a business of 222 cars from a company. So don't worry, I can manage that. While establishing your credibility in front of that client, what you did was you created a competition out of the discussion, and you told that client, listen, you're not that big. है ना? So ये bragging के जुमरे में आ गया है, किसी भी जुमरे में आ गया. But when I say stop treating discussion as competition, this is what I mean. With the client, you never say that I have done bigger deals, because that gives a perception to that client that, listen, you're not that big. That's the second barrier of listening. And the third barrier of listening. And whatever you do in life, while listening, you need to understand that कहाँ पर काम की बात हो रही है और कहाँ पर सिर्फ लफाजियत हो रही है. ठीक है, जिसको हम कहते हैं splitting woods with grass. ठीक, अलग करना सीखें. कहाँ पर सिर्फ हवाई बातें हो रही हैं, कहाँ पे ग्राउंड रूट पे लेवल बातें हो रही हैं. ये अगर डिफरेंस करना आपको आ गया, NLP आप में से अगर किसी ने किया है, न्यूरो लिंग्विस्टिक प्रोग्रामिंग, I'm a certified NLP. This is what we call Milton and meta models. ठीक है, so what happens is meta says, give me the details. What are we doing right now? Why are we here? As I said, we are talking about Excel model, the excellent leader, right? So meta says about the details. And the Milton says about all the flowery storytelling, inspirational speeches stuff. Are you able to split that? Are you able to understand कि जनाब ये मेटा था, ये मिल्टन था, या ये डिटेल की बातें थी, ये मेरी काम की बातें थी, और ये सिर्फ उसकी ब्यूटीफुल पैकेजिंग थी. अगर आप ये डिफरेंशिएट ही नहीं कर पा रहे, so how are you listening? How you are not able to differentiate between the splitting of woods and grass. You need to understand that. So yeah, Excel model, the entire Excel model, excellent leader is according to these 5 areas. There's this person who has said that I've just joined. Can you do a recap? So yes, this is your recap. Excel, the A is for accountability. There is no leader in the world with or without position who is accountable. If you're not accountable for your actions, you're not a leader. It's as simple as that. Close shut period. The second is collaboration. Stop getting into competition, these bell curves and all of that, Zabardast, Mubarako. But if you really want collaboration, you need trust. The third part is communication. I delivered 3 V's, visual, vocal, and verbal. कहना आसान है, basic लगता है, करता कोई नहीं है, ठीक है? And so that's a sad part. That really hurts me. So that's the third part, that's communication. Fourth is engagement. I give you few options of engaging your millennials and Gen Zs into the organization. And the last one was listening. And I gave you 3 barriers कि हम क्यों नहीं सुन पाते. I have a lot of barriers as well, ठीक है? But right now, I think so these 3 are pain points which we need to understand. Okay, now, once I've discussed about the Excel model, I want to discuss about 2 more areas. And these are, if you are on a position in an organization, if you are on a position in an organization, I'm sure you would love these. 2 areas. आज से पहले, when I say आज, I mean this 4-5 years से पहले ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हुआ कि एक organization के अंदर there were 4 to 5 generations working at the same time. Think. So from the baby boomers to the Gen Zs, from the baby boomers to Gen X to us to millennials to Gen Z. आज पहली बार ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में ऐसा हो रहा है कि 4-5 generations एक साथ काम कर रही है, and everyone has their, I say, individual needs according to what age group they are, the background they have, and stuff like that. Few things I need to tell you as an organization. The first thing is you need to create more opportunities of informal discussions in your company. Progressive companies are doing it. Take care. You need to do it as well. Need more platforms to have open, informal discussions. A lot of companies have only whistleblowing mechanism. If anything bad happens, you whistleblow. I am telling you, get more. So I give you an example. क्योंकि मैं जब भी इस तरह की कोई बात करता हूँ जहाँ डिस्ट्रप्शन की बात हो रही होती है या इनोवेशन की बात हो रही होती है on companies policy or SOPs or something on those lines, Google do this, ठीक है ना? मुझे लोग पूछते कहाँ होता है ये? Google में होता है. Google does this and it is called as FedEx night. What they do is that they bring people out for 24 hours, sorry, my bad. They bring people out of their office for 24 hours and they do a creativity session. आप कुछ भी सोचें, ideas, and then you need to deliver it informally, without any layers of supervision or corporate jargons. जैसा है वैसा बताओ. By the way, कल learning minds में ये हो रहा है. This is called ideas for life, and so it's not just that we say but we don't do, right? Tomorrow is our IFL, and in this we talk about ideas. And once लोग मेरे जो colleagues हैं यहाँ पे, मेरी टीम के लोग हैं, उन्होंने अपने मुंह छुपा लिए हैं क्योंकि I'm sure उनके पास फिलहाल आइडिया नहीं है, but I'm sure they'll get around that as well. So yeah. So once is informality. So people need to be more informal. They're not abrasive. They're not harsh. लोगों को लगता है they are harsh, but they are not. So that's one thing. Second, ये एक मुझे नहीं पता. I don't agree with few authors. People love them. That's their area. I don't. Because we have been told that millennials or the Gen Zs are entitled. You have heard that word, right? They've heard that recently. There are multiple videos who are going viral where they're saying that millennials and Gen Zs are entitled to have stuff. I necessarily don't agree with that. It's not about entitlement. It's about what's in it for me. So पुराने ज़माने में, I give you an example, Excel leader को ये सारे areas देखने पड़ेंगे. So it's really important to share it with you. हमारे ज़माने में होता था जनाब, हमारे ज़माने का कह रहा हूँ मैं, like in the past days, sorry for that as well. There's a lot of bling bling coming over here. So in the past days, what used to happen was पैसे दे रहे हैं, काम करना है. It's as simple as that. आपको बेटा पैसे मिले, इस पे आप काम करें, आगे बढ़ें, ठीक है? And I'm sure कुछ companies में आज भी ऐसा होता होगा. I'm sure about that. Performance is number one. Like you can't ignore that. But what addition into that performance or driving that performance to a next level happened was sense of achievement. It's not entitlement. We need to get this clear. It is not entitlement. It's sense of achievement. That is what's in it for me. If I'm selling a product, how is it impacting the society? Is it making our society a better place? Is it making humans a better humans? Is it making, can I sell this product to my family? Okay. Does it have that impact? And once we are not able to create that what's in it for me or why of work, once we are not able to create that, and that's where our achievement drivers go down. Once our achievement driver goes down, but we need to make an impact, as Simon says, we need to make an impact, the entitlement comes up. I don't necessarily believe in that. We need to be more clear of what millennials are looking for. in this entire process. The third and the last thing. So one was informal discussions, more frequent informal discussions, gamifying policies if you can do that. Third one is it's not entitlement, it's achievement. Last but not the least, creating a culture of collaboration will take time. Creating a culture of collaboration will take time. Till then, you can nurture your people around what they suit best from themselves. Again, a lot of if and buts, a lot of policies and SOPs, सब है अपनी जगह पे, माना नहीं कर रहा मैं. लेकिन अगर एक बंदा, मैं आपको बताता हूँ क्यों, रीजन भी देता हूँ. पुराने ज़माने का मतलब ये आज से 10 साल पहले हम सब बाहर निकलते थे खेलने के लिए और हमारा आइडियल होता था क्रिकेट. अगर क्रिकेट नहीं हुआ तो हम कुछ भी खेल लेते थे. मतलब we just need 5 to 10 people and we used to start with anything, right? Any game वहाँ पे बना लेते, 4 5 6 पत्थर को लगा के बॉल लगा, we could do anything. But now it's really we can't get, first of all, that many friends at one time. So what we do is we have went global. So for you need to create diversity and inclusion for your organization. But the person who has been brought up right now, the Gen Zs and the millennials, they don't see diversity and inclusion as a process. They see it naturally. बताइए क्यों? Because once you go on your mobile and you start playing an app, so for example, you start playing cricket or you start playing PUBG, that's a very, one person is from Brazil, one person is from Russia, one person from Tha. So you have 8, 9 nationalities playing the same game on your mobile phone. So you don't see diversity and inclusion as a separate thing. It's part of that. The time they start noticing that it's not there, it's not there. उनको तब अंदाजा होगा कि डाइवर्सिटी इंक्लूजन नहीं है क्योंकि जब वहां पे वो नहीं होगा वरना उसे अंदाजा नहीं होगा. सो वी आर हैविंग ऑल ऑफ दीस डिस्कशंस एंड ट्रेनिंग्स रिगार्डिंग डाइवर्सिटी एंड इंक्लूजन. आज के लिए इट्स ओके, बट नेक्स्ट 2-3 years it would be a part of the process. And while I'm saying about that, please ask me a lot of questions. So there are a few, there's one more question coming in. Yes, sir, Tausif Saab, this is something we would be placing on YouTube. This would be something we'll be placing on Facebook. And if you have registered, the link of this entire talk would be given to you. So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome on that. So please ask me questions. Please ask me questions. I think so. Last 15 minutes is remaining. I am almost through with my content and what I wanted to tell you in this webinar. This is the first we are doing. So also let us know that if you think that we should do more webinars of this sort, we need your feedback on that via email or over here, whatever suits you, but please give us feedback over here. So yeah, I have 1-2 questions and I have my colleague Farzeen over here who would be asking me. Yes.
Okay, so how would you describe your leadership style? We've been asked a lot of this.
Okay, so the first is that how we should, so we have more questions coming in. Please let that come in. Every leader has their own style, right? So it's not an industry where someone goes to read a book, do something on hand, and they change their personality. It never happens like that. Every person has their own personality. So you need to understand what's your personality and then go with that. So for example, if you have a personality who is very welcoming and very humble, you can carry on with your leadership style in that way because that will amplify your influence. If you are someone who is result oriented and very there, like very assertive, if I may say, the word is assertive, go with that. Don't try to change your personality. That's another wrong thing. वो लीडर इस तरह से था तो आप भी अब उसकी तरह से बन रहे हैं तो वो दुनिया में एक है, आपकी जरूरत नहीं है. आपकी जरूरत तब है जब आप अपनी पर्सनालिटी के हिसाब से लीड करेंगे, एंड दैट्स वेयर योर स्ट्रेंथ लाइज. If I today I ask Babar Azam to start bowling, that's not Babar Azam then. You need to understand that, right? Okay. So we have some question from Hanan. In the fourth industrial revolution, on terms of humanics, empathy is crucial. How would you comment on it? Brother, I think so. Empathy is important, um, but at a certain time, certain limit. It has to get onto that, because I'm a corporate trainer, right? So I'm not a motivational speaker. So I can't talk about कि जनाब हो जाएगा और वो देखें दुनिया और वो जिंदगी की ये जैसा. I can't do that. The first thing while empathizing is, have you delivered the results? And मैंने जो कहा था communication के लिए अंदर, if you remember, stand up from your seats, go to that person and ask, is everything okay with you? Can I help? That's empathy. You ask them. But even after that, they don't give results. There has to be a certain limit where you have to stop empathizing, right? So it's really crucial. Emotional intelligence is one of my program, very dear program. I've done a lot of programs around that. It's very crucial. But again, at some point of time, you need to step up and be accountable. That's why I said that's the start and the end of every leadership course, or any person who wants to get into the industry. Thank you, Atif, for your compliment. I'll do this webinar in future as well. There are a lot of trainers, very, very powerful trainers. We have Minhas, we have Sohail Zindani, we have Anam Zera, we have a lot of people, and I'm sure in the coming days there will be a lot of webinars for you people. So I'm glad on that. Okay, there's another question, and I'm gonna speak out that question so आप सबको भी पता हो कि हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. Millennials are fast movers and they don't stick around for a long period of time. And then by the time they get training, they don't time for coming, they leave for a small increment. Okay, this is a tough one. You need to. Okay, by the way, Tausif, I was reading this, and if you can share your email address on the email, I can share that article with you as well. Like it was a Deloitte article in which they said that. Thank you. So in which they said that what happens is that, for example, I can't quote the right number, the percentage, but 45% of people, according to Deloitte, the millennials want to leave within 2 years of their hiring, within 2 years. And only 15% want to continue their job with the same employer for more than or equal to 5 years. Now that's an alarming issue. That's an alarming statement, and that's a point where I can understand where your question is coming from, because you invest a lot, or there are a lot of companies who are investing a lot of money for the training and development and all of that stuff. और वो जैसे ही हो जाता है, they leave. And the funny part, I tell you, Tausif, आपने यहाँ लिखा नहीं है, but funny part is they leave for 10-15,000, maybe less than that, and that is the saddest part. But once I say that, the engagement part trumps. If we can create gamified policies, if we can create gamified commitment, we can trump that particular thing where people leave. One more area, excellent leader is very important for managers as well, because according to Glenn Blanchard, 65% people do not leave their companies. They leave the manager. And usse zyada, 85% people don't leave their companies or their manager, they leave the toxic work culture. So yeah, you can give them everything they have asked for, but if the culture is not there, if they are not feeling safe in that particular environment, if they don't see they are making an impact, if they don't see there's a growth, if they don't see that you are caring for them, if they see that the manager or the leader is not accountable, is not communicating, is not collaborative, is not engaging them, it's not listening to them, excel, they leave. So there are a lot of areas someone can work on, right? Because you said what I think people should do, but it's not what I think. Every company has their own challenges. So your company might be having a different set of challenges and another company having a different set of challenges. So it doesn't matter what I think. The point is, what are those company challenges and how then we go in and make them understand. या आप अपनी तरफ से brainstorm करें and see what are your particular set of challenges. Is it your culture? Is it your manager? It is your comp and ben? Or is it something else? For people to leave on such a small increment of sorts. Yeah, I hope I've answered you, and I'll send the Deloitte research to you as well, Tausif. Thank you. Okay. So we have Hira, very basic, but how can one identify inner leader within self? Okay, beautiful question. I like that question. Listen, close your eyes. Everyone, everyone who is a participant over here, my team, close your eyes. And think of one thing you can achieve or you want to do. You can achieve or you want to do if I tell you, you will not fail at it. One thing you want to achieve or you want to do in life, which you know you won't fail at it. Hira, you can do this as well. Yeah, cool. Open your eyes. Why aren't you doing it, by the way? अगर आपको पता हो कि आप उसमें फेल नहीं होगे, तो आप वो क्यों नहीं कर रहे? आपको आंसर दूं? या तो इर्द गिर्द में आपके दोस्तों ने बोला कि आप नहीं कर सकते, या तो आपके अब हायर अप्स ने कहा कि आप वो नहीं कर सकते, या तो आपने फेसबुक पे वो चीजों की रिव्यूज देख लिए थे. अगर किसी ने सोचा मैं पैराग्लाइडिंग कर लूंगा, पैराशूटिंग, आई डोंट नो, एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाऊंगा, समथिंग ऑन दोस लाइंस, तो आपको किसी ने बोला. और अगर आपको किसी ने नहीं बोला, तो आपको पता है कहां से आवाज आई? यहां से, अंदर से. आप कोई भी नई चीज ट्राई करने जाते हो ना, तो आपको यहां से आवाज आती है कि तुम फेल हो जाओगे. यू हैवंट ट्राइड दैट, you don't know. So it's either people, it's their either their past experiences, or there is this inner voice who said कि तुम fail हो जाओगे. And that's the same thing with leadership. With the time you see how one can identify the inner leader, listen, it's you are there who you are, and every person is unique. So अगर आपने पहला वाला मेरा कमेंट इस पे पढ़ा होगा, मैंने उनको कहा कि पर्सनालिटी, फरजीन ने सवाल पूछा था पर्सनालिटी ऑफ लीडर्स पे. उस पे मैं कहा था कि आपका अपना एक पर्सनालिटी होगी. इट माइट बी योर वेरी हम्बल, डाउन टू अर्थ, और स्माइलिंग, and you are looking at someone who's very assertive, very on the go, very fast moving, and आपके यार ऐसे कब बनूंगी मैं? आप ऐसे नहीं बन सकते, क्योंकि आप हो, वो है. ठीक है, पर्सनालिटीज अलग हैं. यू कैन टेक इंस्पिरेशन फ्रॉम देम, यू कैन आई थिंक सो मिमिक और इमिटेट द एक्शंस दे डू. बट व्हाई यू वांट टू चेंज योर पर्सनालिटी? योर लीडर is in there. It's, you don't have to find it, it's there. You are right now. Look in the mirror or your computer screen, open up your camera, your front camera, it's there. And जब भी आपको कोई कहता है ना आप लीडर नहीं हो, जब भी आपको कोई कहता है कि you don't have that what it takes, people will do that their entire lives. So that's okay. If you are not taking responsibility, then that's your fault. I hope I have answered you. Okay? No one can identify. It's there. It's there. You start now, right now. Right? This is who you are. You amplify these things. Yes, there are certain skills here, which someone can understand. जैसे मैंने Excel model के बारे में बताया था. There are certain skills which you take training and learning and coaching and mentoring along the way, along your career. But leader is there. I can see, isn't it? Okay, so we have another question, Farzeen, if you may ask.
So that
Sorry, last 5 minutes. If anyone wants to ask any questions or leave any messages you want this webinar for more trainers, for more topics, you can even write the topics. Okay, next time, please do this webinar on this particular topic, and we would be grateful to acknowledge that. So please keep your messages coming in. Last 5 minutes of my webinar, and I think so I can accommodate 2 questions. And the first one has been asked by Farzeen, which we already had it over here. So we have one more question, room of one more question. So please throw in your questions so we can answer those as well. So yeah, last 5 minutes starts now. Yes, Farzeen.
why Excel? Why this model?
Okay, because it's a holistic, comprehensive, yet very simple for anyone to understand. Hence the Excel model. Okay, and so the hence. Okay, Taseeb, I have missed first half of this. How can you, ma'am, you can get this on YouTube and Facebook Live. और अगर आपने register कराया था, तो you can get this. So you can get this in your inbox as well. So it's perfectly fine. Okay, in field of sales, an individual initially starts as sole performer and he is answerable for his output, but when he becomes a team leader, oh God, this is some one good question. Okay. The training which we execute on, so for example, there's this training coming on 13th Feb on first time managers. There's this issue. एक टॉप परफॉर्मर है, जैसे आपने कहा भी तौसीफ, एक टॉप परफॉर्मर है, अच्छा काम करता हुआ आ रहा है, सोलो खेलता हुआ आ रहा है, बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया, केपीआई हुए, अप्रेजल हुआ, मैनेजर बन गया। अब वो मैनेजर एक ऐसी चीज पे बना है जिसपे उसने कभी काम ही नहीं किया था, तो उसके परफॉर्मेंस भी डाउन हो रही है और लोग भी डिमोटिवेट हो रहे हैं, क्योंकि वो तो उसको तो पता ही नहीं लोगों को मैनेज कैसे करना है। एंड जहां पे लोगों को नहीं पता मैनेज कैसे करना है, आई एम टेलिंग यू, सोलो लीडर जो होता है ना, जो सोलो मार्केट में जाता है, वो अपने तरीके से कम्युनिकेट करता है, वो अपने तरीके से कोलैबोरेट करता है, वो अपने तरीके से एंगेज करता है, वो लिसनिंग शायद करता हो नहीं करता हो, और वो अपने तरीके से अकाउंटेबल होता है, ऐसे ही, ठीक है। बट one thing, and Tausif, I may answer your question on this. One thing you can do is, oh sorry, ये थोड़ी screen का issue आ गया था. One thing you can do is tell that manager, tell that first time supervisor, team lead or manager that that person now needs to be agile. That person needs to be flexible, and that person needs to facilitate the team he or she has been given. The point is that as a team member or as a first time manager or as a first time supervisor, सबसे बड़ा मसला क्या है? आप अपनी टीम को फैसिलिटेट करने की जगह आप खुद फैसिलिटेट हो रहे हो, और जी वो नहीं हुआ काम, उसका कब होगा, ये कब होगा, ये कब होगा. Asking questions is really easy. Asking the right questions is really hard. So don't start with why. ये क्यों नहीं हुआ? That's where the new team leads, new managers fail. Ask them, ये कैसे हो सकता है और इसमें मैं आपकी कैसे हेल्प कर सकता हूं, और what resources you require, because as a team lead, as a supervisor, as a manager, you have been given that post to do the exact simple same things I have just told. Yeah, so I hope I have answered your question. Okay, so yeah, okay, management according to SOP without management according to SOP without that's Ashraf. Best of luck if you can do that. SOPs, that's what I said. If there is a leader over here, so SOPs has to be flexible enough. They have been coming in from 1980s, and now it's time to be tweaking them a bit. Servant leadership, yes, Arsalan, thank you for joining in, and I'm sure you have heard the entire session. Do give me feedback on this as well, Arsalan. He's a very good friend of mine, very competent person. So all praises for you, brother. Our working building will be less emphasis on a worthwhile team member player working under a leader. Oh yes, that's a separate topic. That's a separate domain altogether. Shiraz, what I was trying to do was making them understand the Excel model, and it can be applied to any walk of life, of for any person, irrelevant of the age, gender, culture, religion. Excel model is a universal model, like very simple to understand, but very powerful. But this is a different topic, and I'll make sure that we do something on those lines, Shiraz. Last, so Soil Zandani once said, if you want to research his performer, then make him manage. That's so real, man. Okay, manager तो बन जाता है, लेकिन objective उसका money making. हाँ, तो ये सच है ना. ये सच है, और मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि we need to have an indirect approach, because as Zig Ziglar said, and this is my last quotation, and I'll leave this webinar. Thank you for all joining in. Zig Ziglar said that your work is not to look after the business as a manager. Your or sales ka ho ya kahin ka bhi ho, supply chain ka ho, kahin ka bhi manager ho ya supervisor ho. Your job is not to look after the business. Your job is to look after the people who look after the business. And once you start doing that, so it's an indirect approach. और हमें ये नए मैनेजर्स को समझाने की जरूरत है कि जनाब आपको पैसे की पड़ी है ना, वो पैसे डायरेक्टली या इनडायरेक्टली मिल जाएंगे, ठीक है. नाउ वंस यू हैव बीन रेज्ड टू दैट बार, यू हैव टू गो इनडायरेक्ट, ठीक है. यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ द पीपल सो दे टेक केयर ऑफ द बिजनेस, सो एवरीवन मेक्स मनी. द टाइम यू टेल देम दिस कॉन्सेप्ट इज द टाइम you create a breakthrough. So thank you so much for your comments, your love, your questions. I am overwhelmed right now. I tell you, this was the first time we did this webinar and I had all of my glitches coming in. Ab main bata deta hu. My computer crashed in the morning. So I'm working on this without a PowerPoint or without any notes. That was a tragic stuff happening with me. But thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed with the people who have joined in, people who have asked questions, people who have commented and shown their love. We'll be doing a lot of webinars in the coming week. Not necessarily with me, but there will be multiple speakers talking about different topics. Make sure you join in. And if you have enjoyed this webinar, please give me feedback. Even if you have found some issues, some glitches, something along those lines, I would be more interested in that. Tell me the weak areas, tell me the issues. You can take compliments as well, and that's up to you. But thank you so much, guys. It was lovely interacting with you. Thank you for asking questions. Jazakallah. Take care.